Item number 6 is a staff briefing and update on the status of the City of San Antonio's 5-year Contracting Diversity Action Plan.
Mike. Morning, Mayor, City Council. Thank you for this opportunity. Over the last 60 days, we've been working very collaboratively with the community on developing a diversity action plan, really a starting point for the future, and we're very excited about that. We're going to tag team the presentation this morning between myself and Porter Dillard, local architect with Dillard Architecture Group, and also representing the Fair Contractor Coalition. I'm going to cover the background of the plan development and also the community involvement piece, and Mr. Dillard is going to cover the plan's vision and goals, and then I'll wrap it up with some the short-term results that we've already achieved. As you will recall, the voters approved the 2012 bond program back in May, and very quickly after that we issued requests for qualifications out to the industry to get design consultants on board. And on October 11th, the Council approved the ability for us to negotiate and execute those contracts with for 87 different design contracts. Mayor, at that time, you asked us to look at coming back with an action plan to really look at the diversity of the 2012 bond and really specifically focusing on African American owned companies. And so since that day, actually the afternoon of October 11th, we had our first meeting. We've had 16 community meetings, and the last one culminating with about a 6-hour marathon meeting to make sure we had a good action plan that we could present to you all. Before I have Mr. Dillard come up, I do want to recognize lots of folks that have been part of making this happen. First of all, Councilwoman Taylor and Francesca from her staff, for your leadership in this process. The NAACP representatives, President Oliver Hill, Lou Miller, Bill Berman, and Frank Dunn, and several others as well. Industry professionals, including Paul Foster from Foster CM Group and Travis Wilshire from CNG. Also, the Fair Contracting Coalition. Included there is Alamo City Black Chamber of Commerce. We've also had heavy involvement from the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, Alamo Area Asian Chamber of Commerce, Neighborhoods First Alliance, and members of the financial community as well, Frost Bank specifically. I do want to thank specifically T.C. Calvert, Ken Lowe, Renee Harris, Byron Miller, Juan Scott, and the many others that have been part of the Fair Contractors Coalition. Also UTSA, Terry Williams, who heads up their PTAC program there. We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. And specifically, Romero Cavazos and Grace Padron from the Hispanic Chamber, who's been heavily involved. Accion, Patrick Shear and Nellie Moreno. And again, you can see that this last couple of months have been very active in the community. We appreciate everybody's participation. I do want to point out city staff. We had Debbie Sitter as my assistant director and Sims as the point person on this effort, and Courtney McClure as our diversity coordinator. Mike Etienne was heavily involved as well. And of course, Renee Dominguez and Alex Lopez from our Economic Development Department. So with that, I'm going to have Mr. Dillard come up and share a few slides on the action plan. Mr. Dillard?